To be environmentally friendly, we asked for all materials to be recycled at the end of the evening. Most tickets were purchased electronically via PayPal on Cure Comedy's website, and some cash-in-hand purchases were made but no paper tickets were issued. Although for the event programmes and surveys were printed, this was due to the idea that we would receive more responses. We had 72 people attend Cure Comedy, some of which themselves had epilepsy. We had 2 Epilepsy Scotland representatives there, one of which gave a small speech at the start of the evening to tell the audience a little bit more about the charity. Our final amount raised for the charity was £1,706.03. This is £700 over our targeted amount. We provided surveys on the tables to try and gain as many responses as possible. With this method we received over half. The results are shown in the following pie chart. After the event we received a certificate and a letter from the charity congratulating us. The running of the event went well, however this was after adjustments and contingency plans were put into place. Our first adjustment that we had to make occurred in the morning. One of the comedians that had arranged to travel through from Glasgow could not make it. The comedian got in touch towards late morning to say that he was apologetic and that he had sourced another comedian who would be quite happy to take his place. Later in the afternoon we arrived at the venue and were greeted with a small stage for the comedian to perform on. However, we did not know that a stage was going to be provided, as the manager, as a token of good gesture, got one for the event. This was an adjustment as we had not included a stage in our risk assessment. Due to bar queues, Cure Comedy began 10 minutes late. A short introductory speech was given to save time, and the raffle and auction were rearranged and held during intervals. With these adjustments, the event entered its scheduled finish time. Overall, we worked well as a team and supported one another. However, at the beginning of the planning and development stage, as a team we lacked in significant communication. This led to areas of work not being done, or if done, not completed properly. We addressed this issue by contacting one another and resolving it by each taking on more responsibility. To ensure all team members were competent on each aspect of the event, whether it was their designated aspect or not, we all cross-trained one another so that if one team member couldn't attend, we could still cover their aspect with confidence. To help with team building, we participated in a 100-foot climb together to improve our communication as well as raise money for the charity. Cure Comedy's budget was closely monitored with month-to-month cash flow statements included in our folder. As already mentioned, we used contingency plans throughout the night. Marketing could have been started sooner in the event process.
I think the budget was organised well and controlled throughout the event, however I think the venue aspect should have been dealt with sooner.
The comedians were a pleasure to work with, but communication was sometimes a problem. They were extremely punctual on the night. The risk assessment was a complex act and should have been created earlier, but was very detailed once completed.
I feel contact was kept well with the volunteers and a comprehensive training session was done beforehand, though I feel marketing should have been started sooner.
I'm responsible for the stakeholders on the evening and making sure their needs were catered to. However, changing the production schedule on the night caused slight confusion, but it pulled off well and in hindsight should have been set out like that in the first place.
We used return on objectives to measure the success of Cure Comedy. This was used along with smile factor and laugh factor, and results are shown in photos and videos of the event. Knowing what everyone is doing is key on the night, and keeping in touch about current situations is crucial. Throughout our planning stages, more meetings face to face would have benefited us to get more done at earlier times. If any group member had any queries, they should have notified the group. For example, our change in venue could have been brought up sooner, but no group member spoke up. We feel honesty is very important within an event group.